Jack and Alice were millionaires. When both of them came home from their office, they saw that their daughter Rachel was not there. She was kidnapped. Jack immediately calls Mehul and calls him.
Who was in the house at that time?
Cook, guard, and watchman. At that time,
Where were you three when Rachel was kidnapped at night?
I was in the kitchen preparing food.
I was guarding outside Rachel's room.
I was standing at the gate. I did not see anyone taking Rachel.
Is there any security near Rachel's window?
yes.
Mehul immediately sees the footages and understands who has kidnapped Rachel. Rachel is not seen in the footage, but the sound of screaming is heard. Rachel got kidnapped around 2 a.m. at night. Mehul observes very carefully and understands. Did you figure out who was the kidnapper? The kidnapper is a cook, because the kidnapping took place at 2 o'clock in the night, and which cook prepares dinner at late night. When Mehul interrogates the cook, she tells him the whole truth and Mehul saves Rachel. Let's see the next puzzle. John makes a beautiful painting for his three friends, George, Andrew, and Brian. But when all three of them reached John's house to see the painting, John was lying on the ground and a knife was stuck in his stomach. Seeing this, all three shout loudly. Then Brian makes call to Detective Mehul and called him to John's house.
Who among the three of you saw the dead body first?
All three say together.
All three of us came together.
Okay, where were you three at the time of John's murder?
Sir, I was having dinner in the restaurant with my wife.
Sir, I took my mother to the doctor.
Sir, I was playing with my children in my garden.
Mehul listens to all three and understands who is the murderer. Can you understand? Tell us your answer by commenting. Andrew says that he was in his garden, and he has just worn white shoes and how clean they are, and despite being in the garden, there is no mud in his shoes. How is it possible? But look at his shoes which have green color on them. That means John's killer is Andrew. Mehul catches him. Let's see the next puzzle. Once, 5 friends Harry, Henry, Alice, Jack and Mia are having a party at Jack's house. And then one of them dies. Everyone gets scared and immediately calls Detective Mehul at the crime scene. Detective Mehul interrogates everyone.
What were you guys doing when she fell from the roof?
Sir, Jack and I were sitting in the hall watching TV.
Sir, I was cooking food for all of them in the kitchen.
Sir, I was in the washroom.
Detective Mehul listens to all four and understands who has lied and who has pushed Mia from the roof. Did you understand? Tell us your answer by commenting. Detective Mehul catches Alice. Because at that time Alice was working in the kitchen, her hand was stained with turmeric. And the same mark of turmeric was also seen on Mia's clothes. That means Alice has pushed her. Mehul catches her. Let's see the next puzzle. 4 friends John, Tom, Harry, and Jack go for mountain climbing. Just then Jack gets murdered there, but no one knew who had killed Jack. Just then Harry calls Detective Mehul. Detective Mehul reaches there after some time and observes the scene carefully.
Means he has been killed by pricking with this poisonous needle.
Detective Mehul now asks the remaining 3 boys to pick up a stick and says to come along him. Everyone pick up the stick and start walking in line. Mehul looks at all 3 carefully and understands who has killed Jack. Did you understood? Tell me the answer by commenting. John and Tom hold the stick in their right hand, whereas Harry has hold the stick in left hand. Seeing this, Mehul would immediately understand that Harry must have committed the murder, because the needle also hit Jack from the left side. And only a lefty can do this, and in all of them Harry is the only lefty. Mehul slaps him hard and puts him in jail. Let's see the next puzzle. An ancient artifact has been stolen from a renowned museum in India. Detective Alia and Zoya arrive to solve this case. A cryptic note is found there. I am sharp but not a knife. I am useful for writing but not a pen. Tell me, who am I?
The answer to this riddle is pencil. Let's check in the drawing section of the museum.
You are such a genius, Alia.
In the drawing section, Alia and Zoya find a pencil with another note hidden in it. I speak without a mouth and listen without ears. I have no body, but with the wind I come alive. Who am I?
The answer to this riddle is echo. I think we should go to the echo chamber.
You are also intelligent like me, Zoya.
In the echo chamber, they both find an audio recording containing the next riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but I can drown. Who am I?
The answer to this riddle is fire. We should check in the fireplace area of the museum.
Come on, Alia, let's go quickly.
In the fireplace area, they find a hidden compartment containing another note. The more it happens, the less you can see. What is this?
The answer to this riddle is darkness. Let's look in the basement because it is dark.
Basement and darkness. What is the combination?
In the basement, detectives find a secret room containing an artifact and a suspect lying unconscious.
Looks like we found the mastermind of the theft.
Wow, had fun solving this riddles.
Detectives solve the mystery behind the theft by solving riddles. Alia and Zoya rocks. Ren, Ken, and Ben, all three were very mischievous children. All three had the same bedroom. Every night they used to leave homework and play video games on cell phone. One day suddenly father comes into the room. But at that time all three were reading book. Father immediately understands that a child is pretending to read a book. Can you tell who is pretending? Ken, or Ben? Tell me your answer by commenting. While reading a book, one has to hold the book with both hands like this, in the grip of the hands on both sides of the book. But Ben's hands are not visible. Because he is holding the cell phone in his hands behind the book, Father understands it and goes closer and sees that Ben was pretending to read. He gets caught. Let's see the next puzzle. A top-secret blueprint is stolen from a high-security lab in Nairobi. Detective Wanjiru and Kamari both reach there to solve this case. Both detectives call 3 suspects to interrogate them.
I was working on another project till 8 p.m. and then I left. I didn't see anyone near the blueprint room.
I was cleaning the corridor around 9 p.m. and I saw Mr. James coming out of the lab and Mr. Thompson going into the blueprint room.
I was on duty outside the lab all night. I saw Ms. Leela cleaning, but did not see anyone coming or going into the blueprint room.
One of these suspects is lying. Can you tell me who is lying? Ms. Layla, the cleaning staff, is lying. If she had seen Mr. James at 9 o'clock, then this contradicts the statement of Mr. James, who said he had left at 8 o'clock. If Mr. Ben was on duty the whole night, then why did he not see anyone coming or going into the blueprint room? This means whatever Miss Layla is saying about Mr. Thompson is also a lie. She is involved in theft. Wanjiru and Kamari catch her. Let's see the next puzzle. A well-known journalist was given poisonous tea in a cafe in Nairobi, which led to his death. Wanjiru and Kamari reaches there to solve the case. There are total 3 suspects. One of them is lying and he is the one who gave the poison. Listen carefully to the statements of all 3.
I was in the kitchen when journalist came and Mr. John were making tea. I left from there and I don't know what happened after that.
I was serving tea. I gave tea to the journalist. He seemed normal to me. After that I went to attend other customers.
I was making tea. I checked the ingredients. Nothing was expired. I saw manager Joseph coming into the kitchen. Usually, he do not come. And at that very moment, I went to the washroom.
Who is lying? Comment your answer quickly. The job of a cook is to cook and the job of a waiter is to serve. If these two had done something wrong, they would have been caught immediately. The question is, why did the manager go to the kitchen? When he went to the kitchen, the cook went to the washroom, means the manager got time to do something. When Kamari slaps the manager, he confesses his oppression. Let's see the next puzzle. The policeman suspects a man and arrests him. He was a foreign person. The man tells the policeman that
I am a Hollywood actor and has come to Rome in India.
After which the man shows the policeman a scene from a Hollywood film. On seeing the scene, the policeman immediately understands that the foreign person is lying. Can you tell me, what did the police saw in the scene and understood? When he was falling down, his hair has to fly upwards, but they are not flying. How is it possible? It means this was artificially created scene, the video is fake video. Policeman catches him. Let's see the next puzzle. While chasing a thief, Mehul reaches the roof. But from there Mehul could not understand in which direction the thief might have gone. Mehul observes all around him carefully and gets a clue. Can you tell which clue Mehul has found? Observe the scene carefully. There are many dish TVs on the roof and all of them are directed towards southeast, but the direction of this corner dish TV is very different, and fresh leaves from the nearby tree are also lying on the floor. That means the thief must have collided with this dish TV while going. That is why the dish TV got shaken and the leaves also fell down. When Mehul looks at the tree, the thief is hiding above. Mehul catches him. Let's see the next puzzle. Detective Mehul is trapped in a room. There are 5 doors through which he can escape. Behind the first door are zombies. Behind the second door is a mummy. Behind the third door lives a vampire. Behind the fourth door is a wolf. And there's a ghost behind the final door. Which door should Mehul choose to escape the room? Tell us in the comments section. Let's see what happens. He will select the last door. Ghosts love to scare humans, but they don't intend to kill them, so this room will be the safest for Mehul. Interesting, wasn't it? Let's move on to the next riddle. Ben is kidnapped and imprisoned in a skyscraper by a magician. There is no way he could escape. He finds 3 jars of magical water. All 3 of them will grant him different powers, but only for a short span of 30 minutes. If he consumes the water from the first jar, he will become super powerful. If he consumes the water from the second jar, he will become a zombie. If he drinks water from the third jar, he will turn into a vampire. Which jar's water should he consume in order to escape? Think and tell us your answer in comments. Let's see what happens. Ben waits for the sun to set, then he drinks water from the third jar and turns into a vampire. He then transforms into a bat and flies away from the window. Interesting, wasn't it? Let's move on to the next riddle. 4 friends stumble upon a haunted mansion, daring each other to enter its eerie confines. Tony, filled with apprehension, warns his friends.
Hey buddies, don't venture inside the mansion.
Curious about Tony's cautionary words? Logical Army, can you guess the reason behind Tony's ominous warning? Let me know your answer by commenting. Let's hop on to the answer. The answer lies in the footprints outside the mansion. While they all lead in, none return. It's an ominous sign, suggesting that anyone who enters may never come back. Let's move on to the next riddle. Ria goes to the jungle for an adventure. There, she gets trapped in a cave.
What do I do now?
Gogo places a bomb in the cave that is said to explode in 5 minutes. There is a huge door through which she can escape. Observe carefully. Can you tell what must be the code to open the door? Here's the answer. If you look closely, it's a pattern. The code is 3rd digit plus 2nd digit minus 1st digit. In the first equation, 1 minus 1 will be equal to 0, and adding 5 to it will make it a 5. Similarly, in the second equation, 2 minus 1 will be 1, and 1 plus 5 will give us 6. So for the last equation, 9 minus 5 will give a 4, and adding 5 to the 4 will again give a 9. Ria enters 9 as the code, and the door opens. As she moves forward, she comes across 3 doors. Behind the first door is a wolf. Behind the second door, there is continuous acid rain that would burn her alive. Behind the third door are venomous spikes that would pierce her foot as soon as she steps in. Can you guess which of the doors is safest for her? Think and let me know your answer through comments. Let's see what happens. Ria goes back to the first door, where the bomb was placed, and carries the bomb with her. She opens the first door, throws the bomb inside, and shuts the door quickly. As soon as the bomb explodes, she opens the door and escapes through it. Interesting, wasn't it? Let's get to the next one.
My bag has been stolen,
says one man as he runs towards the police station. It has millions of dollars. Quickly catch the thief. When the cops question him about the thief, he says,
I was walking down the street when a boy came running from behind. He was wearing gloves and a face mask. He snatched the bag from my hands and ran away. I couldn't see him.
How come you have scratches all over your face?
The cops inquired.
When I tried to catch him, he hit me.
The man claims, I was hurt because he had a gold ring on his right hand. The police immediately understand that this is a false report. How? Can you think and tell me? Let's see the answer. How did the man see a gold ring if the robber was wearing gloves? Which implies he was lying. Let's move to the next riddle. A waiter calls Detective Mehul and tells him that someone attacked him.
I was in the storeroom when someone attacked me from behind. I couldn't see his face, as I fainted on the spot after he hit me.
He also tells Mehul that he hasn't told anyone else about this incident. Detective Mehul reaches the crime scene and interrogates all three people present there. The owner says,
I was at the counter all day. It was a busy day. I didn't have time for all of this.
The second waiter says,
I was in the kitchen and was looking after the customers. It was very crowded today.
The chef says,
I was preparing food for everyone. There were too many orders today, so I was busy. I didn't have any time to go to the storeroom.
Now you think and tell me who must have attacked the waiter. Think carefully and tell me your answer in the comment section. Let's have a look at the answer. The chef had attacked the waiter. How did he know that waiter was attacked in the storeroom if he was in the kitchen? Mehul understands this and arrests the chef. Let's move on to the next one. Slanky and Shorty live in a small town in Southern California. Their story is very interesting. Slanky commits robberies on dates that are multiples of 2. For example, the 2nd, 4th, 6th, and so on. And Shorty always commits robberies on dates that are multiples of 5, such as 5, 10, 15, and so on. Can you tell me how many times will they commit the robberies together in February? Take your time and let me know your answer through comments. Here's the answer. Since February has either 28 or 29 days, and because Slanky will commit robberies on even dates like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and Shorty will commit robberies on dates like 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on, together, they will commit robberies twice, once on 10 and once on 20. They go to a building to commit the robbery. The first floor window is open. However, Slanky will not be able to enter the building, and Shorty will be unable to reach the first floor because of his height. How do you think they'll be able to rob the place? Take your time and let me know your answer through comments. Let's hop on to the answer. Slanky will help Shorty to reach the first floor. Shorty will rob the place and will sit on Slanky's shoulder and they can easily escape. Interesting, wasn't it? Let's move on to the next one. The Ken Mall was one of the largest in Dubai. Unfortunately, a large number of robberies have happened there recently. The mall's owner was unable to catch the thief, so he ultimately asks for Detective Mehul's help. Mehul arrives and scans through the CCTV footage from the previous 3 days. He suspects 4 people, A, B, C, and D, who were frequent visitors to the mall. Robberies are now taking place on a daily basis, which means it has to be one of these 4. Mehul examines all 3 clips of these people's footage 1, footage 2, and footage 3, and immediately recognizes the thief. How? Can you tell by looking at the video? Let us know by commenting your answer. Let's see the answer. Take a look at person D. He wore an eye patch over his left eye on the first day. The next day, he had it on his right eye, and on the third day, he had it on his left eye. He comes back the next day and Mehul catches him. Let's see the next riddle. London's most notorious criminal has kidnapped an old woman and her grandson. Mehul rushes to the kidnapper's den immediately. The kidnapper throws a bomb in the room and warns them.
This bomb will explode in 30 seconds. You can escape down this hole, but only one person can pass through it at a time. Now it's up to you. Who lives and who dies?
How will Mehul get out of this situation? Who will he save? Can you guess? Let us know in the comments below. Let's look at the answer. Mehul opens the cover of the hole and throws the bomb into it. It explodes inside it, and he manages to rescue everyone. Let's hop on to the next one. Jugga wakes up one day and has no memory of the previous night. He was dancing with a girl at a party. He didn't remember her face, only that he became unconscious after a while, and that girl dropped him home. Jugga was trying to recall her and pulled out his phone. He saw a photo of 3 girls from the previous night's party. Look at the photo carefully and tell me who was with Jugga last night. Think carefully and tell me your answer in the comments section below. Let's have a look at the answers. The girl with red lipstick was with Jugga last night, as there are red lipstick marks on Jugga's t-shirt. Jugga understands that and contacts the girl quickly. Let's move on to the next riddle. Ria wanted to go shopping, so she picks up her credit card and goes to the supermarket. She puts a lot of items in her cart and then goes for billing, but forgets her credit card PIN. No worries, Ria is smart. She always keeps a paper in which there's a hint for her PIN. Look at this paper carefully and tell me, can you guess what could the PIN be? Think carefully and let me know your answer in the comments section. Let's see the answer. The PIN for Ria's card is 2, 4, 3, 2. Bicycles 2 wheels. Cars 4 wheels. Tricycles 3 wheels. And bikes 2 wheels. Let's move on to the next one. Lily calls Detective Mehul and informs that her husband had been shot. When Mehul reaches the crime scene, Lily explains.
We were just talking. Out of nowhere, there were 2 gunshots and Bob was killed. The man was wearing a mask. He ran before I could even react.
Mehul instantly figures out that Lily was lying. Looking at the clues, can you guess why he thought so? Let us know in the comments below. Let's now look at the answer. The house was a mess, which means they were probably fighting before her husband died. The argument escalated and Lily shot her husband out of spite. Look at the bullet holes on the wall. They are of 2 different sizes, which means 2 different guns were used. Mehul understands this and arrests Lily immediately. Let's jump to the next riddle. Mehul was walking down the road when someone sneaked up on him from behind and knocked him out with a stick. When he regained consciousness, he found himself locked in a basement.
This is my house. But why is it locked?
He had a spare key hidden in the basement. By looking at this image, can you guess its location? think and let me know your answer in the comments. Let's now look at the answer. The key was hidden in this bottle. He draws it out and unlocks the door of the basement. Let's hop on to the next riddle. Look at these girls and tell me which girl is alive. A, B, or C? Let me know your answer by commenting. C is alive as her hairs are growing. For more such interesting riddles, subscribe to the channel.